combination of those things. It's all in the Brain Gym book, just so you know. Okay. So that was that. So we'll put the crayons back. So sorry, I'm not letting you really get into it as much as would be nice to, but it's really just for the demonstration. Okay, so let that roll itself up.
I'll tell you, my daughter's begging me. I can't remember something to give her.
No, but she'll love to do it.
Yeah, but I'm already guys.
All right, so I think now we're going to stand up, because now I'm going to show you how we do it with ribbons. Same idea, only using your body instead of using crayons or markers. I usually use markers with the children because they find them more exciting. Now when I do this with them, if I have enough to do 2 per child, I do 1 in each hand, but usually there's not enough, so the idea is you use your writing hand, okay? And we will do a similar thing, which is just with 1 hand in this case though, oops, is just scribble in the air. So just make scribbles. And, you know, obviously we get into it. And we put on music and we dance around. Yeah, of course, you use your whole body. And then what I want to do is make circles from left to right. Okay? And obviously we'll go all the way around the room when we do it, but we're not going to do that now. So make circles from left to right. And then try making figure 8s if you have enough room. And again, they will use their whole bodies to do it. Now, we might do a whole session just of that. And then I will do a whole session with them. Exactly, we'll write in the air, we'll skywrite their names, like you try to write your name in the air.
How long does this go on? Oh, I'm sorry,
No, we do this all year. You know, it's just we do different things each day.
No, I got like how many minutes?
Oh, as long as you want, until they don't feel like doing it. Then what I like to do, and I started doing this with the homeschoolers this year, is combining the vowel sounds, the short vowel sounds, with doing these in the air. So let's say we're going to all do an ah, but with them, I have to turn around because otherwise they'll imitate me backwards, but you guys can draw it correctly. So we're going to do a lowercase letter A, and we're going to say the sound while we do it. So we're going to go ah, and do it again, ah, do it again, ah. And then let's say we're going to do a lowercase letter E, we're going to say eh. So we're going to go eh, eh, eh. And we'll do a lowercase letter U. Now we're going to do a lowercase I. If. They love this one too. And then we'll do a lowercase letter O, which is ah. Okay, so wait.
Oh, it sounds like A.
No, ah. They are different. Okay, so let me take these. You got the idea. I'm sorry it's so short. Connie with the children. Connie did it with the children.
That's cool that you did
So
it with them.
ribbons in the air. This is, you can have a seat. My point is crayons, ribbons, body. You know, you can trace the letters in chocolate. You can trace the letters in honey. You can trace it in, what do we do? Whipped cream. Anything that's like somehow, but you've got to say it while you do it. We have these wonderful sandpaper letters. Do you want to get those? I'm just trying to show you everything you can do. Yes, absolutely. And with your feet in the sand, right? I mean, that's the whole thing, is that it can be with whatever part of the body. We will put tape on the floor and walk the letter and say it. So we'll go, while you do it. And it does something to you, you know, and if you spend a whole, which we've done, like a whole half an hour just doing one letter in every different possible permutation, it has an effect, you know. It doesn't mean then you've got it. You have to repeat it and 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 repeat it. Like everything, like you have to say, no, I said don't do that. You have to repeat it and repeat it. But these are great. I'll just pass them around because what they do is we have them trace this with their finger and then write it. And this is especially good, I found, for children who have difficulties with writing, is that if they trace it and say it and then write it, it does something. Somehow it has an effect on the nerves and the nervous system, and it helps. And I mean, this is Montessori. I mean, I'm telling you, I'll take from anywhere. I don't care, whatever works. I'm not proud. So, good. I have one more to do with you. That's a theatrical exercise. Actually, I have two theatrical exercises, so I'll give you a moment to breathe. Can you pass the letters? All right. Now, this next one I came up with this year, and it worked really well. And actually, there was a psychologist who happened to be visiting school the day that I did this, and she wrote volumes about it because she felt it was so good, because she was observing a child who has some learning difficulties, and she was like, this is perfect for a child like this. So there you go. I can't see that it necessarily has to be for some learning difficulties. So you're going to have to stand up for this one. Okay. So these short vowel sounds, if they can get the short vowel sounds in their body through repetition, it might take them a week, a month, a year, 2 years. It just depends on the person, how long it takes them to actually memorize these sounds. But if they can get the short vowel sounds, they can read. If they can't get the short vowel sounds, then forever and ever they are in difficulty. And it doesn't matter whether they're 10 years old or 5 years old. I have seen the same thing. Once they get it, they've got it, okay? And then it just becomes a matter of memorizing all the weirdo spellings that we have, which I'm going to go into. But anyway, so most of the emphasis the first 2 years is on the short vowel sounds, especially going back and reviewing it if I find that after 6 months they're not getting it, which if they're 5, they don't always get it right away. So for ah, we clap, ah, clap, okay? So if I say a word that has ah in it, you clap, okay? So if I say pat, sat, cat, fat, mat, then you clap. Okay, that's easy. Ah, if I say you slump and you go good. So if I say pup, you go If I say mum, you go If I go fun, you go okay? And then if I say sat, you go, and I go fun. Cat, slump, mat, cup. All right, so we do that for a while. Again, keep in mind I don't do it all in one day. Then if we're going to do, what do I want to do next? Ah, which is the O sound, we pop up in the air. Okay? So ah is for pop. Okay? So if I say pop, you go. And I say mop, sop, stop.
Can you
cup.
say O sound again?
Cat, cup, pop. So we'll do it. It's ah.
Just remember pop.
Pop.
Remember pop.
Right, like
Without
popcorn.
a
Right.
Top.
So they will do the same thing. They will make the sound. They'll go ah, ah each time. Ah. All right. Then eh. Eh is always the same one. I got this from Aunt Lillian. Eh? Eh? That's the hardest one for them to distinguish is eh and the next one I. Those are the hardest ones. Eh and I. So we go eh. So if I say pet, you go eh. And I go let. And I go met. And then I go pup. And then I go sap. And then I go stop. Oh. And the last one is I. And I is like ick, like you saw a mouse. And so you freeze. So if I say I, you go I, or whatever, doesn't matter. And so I go pick, kick, stick. All right, so we get this combination of them going I. And then I go pop, and they go, and I go slump, and they go, and I go pop, and they go clap. All right, and it just keeps going. All right, and obviously, of course, it's hysterical. And I take pictures, and that's why I put the photos out there so you could see the pictures of them going. So the reason I recommend this is because a lot of times when I'm reviewing, or what I'm really doing is drilling or practicing, they're going to get bored if I'm just going, ah, eh. So I cannot do it. We have to do it with our voices and, if possible, our bodies. Okay? So now you can have a seat for a second. It's crazy, huh? All right. I'm out of my mind. So this is part of the Golden Education Template method, these letter vests. And we do this with all ages. Different kinds of games. I just started this brand new game. Again, I kind of made it up. Well, kind of, because I get the ideas from different people doing different things. It was part of a Be Purple exercise. So I'm going to give you some letters to put on. And you're supposed to wear the lowercase one in front. And you can just put it over your head. You don't have to attach the Velcro, because for adults, it's a little snug. I got to make sure we've got some. I don't want to give you that one, because I want to make sure we got vowels. Wait, I'll give you the I. I'm going to give you the ah. I got Maria. Okay, and we'll give you an N. No. And we'll give you the F. Okay. And I'll put the O. And it's too bad we don't have more people, so we can make more words. All right, now, what we do, and I'm not going to do this to you, but we'll do part of it, but I'm not going to do the worst of it to you, which is it's a freeze dance game. So we put on the music, and they and they dance and they dance and they dance until I stop the music, and then in that freeze, you have to find somebody and make a word with them. Okay? So I am going to not make you dance, but I'm going to put on some music so that you get the hang of this. Okay? And you can just walk around the room. Okay? So wear your letter. Walk around the room. Right, but don't. You can't do it in advance.
I need a vowel.
You just have to move around. Find somebody and make a word.
I like you. Oh, she got it.
Wait, we need
Fawn.
Hey.
10.
Net.
It. Good. Excellent. You got the idea.
We're nothing.
All right, so I'm gonna put it on again. Just walk around.
Oh, man.
Walk around.
It's very hard.
Okay. Find somebody to make a word.
All right.
You can.
Good grab.
Good. No, that doesn't make a word, guys.
Our musical
Here,
note.
nut.
Yes.
Nut.
That's fine. Okay. I'll let you get away with that.
Tongue.
I'm reading nut.
Oh, I'm backwards.
Gentlemen, ladies, make a word. Make a word. There we go. Tie. That's one.
Tie, we did. We
See if you can get one with F over there. Oh,
Okay.
just do F-U-N. And Maria, you are a word.
I'm a word all by myself.
All by your can you
We're
just
back.
Yay.
Yay.
Okay, good. You can sit back.
All right.
I'll take your letters.
All right.
I think this is the hardest thing.
They
Come back next
love
week and get this right. Untie.
No, what they do it because they're very used to making 3-letter words, and so they've got it. And so I left also photographs out on the table of them doing this just this week because they're fast at it, you know. And sometimes I have to help them spell a word that they don't know, but then they've learned a new word. You know?
Pop.
What?
Your
My pop. What? My fly was open. All right. So all of that was to say that that's all preparation work, and without that, the rest is intellectual, and it may work for some children, maybe 10% of the population, but most children need all of that in order to, first of all, have fun doing it and enjoy the process. And the whole idea behind Words in Color was that it was supposed to be fun. And I have to tell you, and this is really not to sell you on it, it's to tell you the truth. Every single time that I ask the children, what is your favorite thing to do in school? And it's whether I asked them this week, which we did for the videos, if Jay can confirm it, or whether it was the beginning of the year when they wrote their goals, they all say Words in Color. It is just, other than free play. It's either free play or words in color, right? That's it. Those are the two things. And believe me, we do a lot of other stuff
Yeah,
here.
that's what my daughter wants to get. She's like,
I know.
I won't get words in color.
No, she will. They're insane about it. So I want to show you.
oh, I'm hogging all these things. Does anyone else want to look at all these?
No, they've mostly seen
Okay.
because I've been pushing this stuff for years. So I want to show you the word charts, and what I want to tell you is, as far as I don't recommend using these at home. We do it at school. That's enough. But if for some reason your child really wanted to have them, rather than buying the big ones, you can get the little ones. They do sell the little ones. And what's nice about the little ones is that I don't know, they play with them. Some of the children have them at home, and they like them. Okay, so it's kind of, they can see what words they haven't learned yet. But to get these big ones, you know, first of all, it's like $200 for a set of these. But secondly, it's just, they're doing it at school. So I think that's more of a fun home thing. So I just want to show you how we do the this process, because this is the words in color method. Everything I've done so far isn't. Okay, so what they are calling words in color, they're really saying, I like learning to read and write at the Garden Road. They don't realize that this is only one part of it, okay? But basically, we start with the short vowels, and with the 5 and 6 year olds, the first process for the first few weeks is just learning those sounds and the colors that go with them, so that when they start in on the word charts, they know it by the color and by the letter shape. Gradually, they won't need the color anymore. You never write in the colors. They aren't reading any books that have the colors. They subconsciously register the colors, and it helps them remember. And they like the colors, okay? So we do quite a few games with this, and so I can do some of these with you. The A is beige, the is yellow, the I is pink, the E is blue, and the is white. So I'll say to them, white, and they all say, ah. I say to them, beige, and they all go, ah. I say pink, I. Yellow,
I don't know how
blue, and those are the games we play. They also will lead it, okay? Or I'll say to them, and they have to say beige. And I'll say, and they say white. And I say, and they say blue. Connie's good at this. I say, and they say pink. And I say, and they say yellow. Very good. Then what we'll do is I'll just say yellow, and they won't necessarily have this. I'll just say yellow, and they've got a little blackboard on the wall, and they sit in front of the wall, and they've got, and I give them a thing of chalk. Each one has their own colored chalk, and they've got to pick out, you know, I'll say yellow, they got to pick out the yellow chalk and draw this.
Wow.
Or I'll say to them, and then they've got to know to pick out a pink and do this, okay? So games. They love games. And also, it doesn't matter whether you get it right or wrong, because you've got one of these. Right? And I always tell them, don't look at anyone else's, because they might have gotten it wrong, and then you're messing yourself up. So trust yourself, because you know what it is. So we play a lot of those games with colors and with sounds. Sometimes what I'll do, like with the homeschooler that I'm tutoring, is we'll do this, I'll point at it, and he's got to say it, you know. But he likes to do it because of the nature of child he is. He likes to do it with, even though we're not clapping, he'll go, or he goes, oh. That's who he is, and that helps him, rather than just doing okay, which is kind of bland, all right? So if you want to do these kinds of games at home, which I really recommend, make it that they're doing it to you, okay, as opposed to you doing it to them. Have them say to you, and you have to write it in the correct color. Have them make stuff up. Have them make up a game, and you have to do it, because they love to be teachers. Your girls especially. Man, They love to be teachers. So say, okay, look, I don't get how to do this. Will you teach me how to do it? And partly you're telling the truth, you know, but partly it's giving them a chance to show you what they know, which they need to do. And also that way when you get it wrong, they can correct you and they're learning while they do that. Another really important thing, which I'm not spending a lot of time on tonight only because I have done it before, but are the rhythm and pattern games. And so you can just do what I just said. You can give them to me. So we do this thing with them where we go, ah, I, ah. And I have to write down what somebody else just said. So somebody gives me a pattern. Now, it's not just that it's a pattern of short vowels, it's got spaces in between. So if I go, ah, that's two of those together. I'm just doing it all in white. I'm not doing it in the colors. Because when they do it with pencil, they're not using colors. So that's ah. And then if I take a space and I go, eh. So it's like I'm taking dictation. And then eh. And then Okay, so let's say someone just gave me that and I have to write it. I'll give it to them, someone comes up and I'll say who thinks they got it right. Someone puts up their hand, they get to come up on the board and write it, and then we say to everyone, did they get it right? Yes, no, whatever. Or that's not what I got. So you give me, somebody raise your hand and give me a pattern and I'll write it.
Ah, eh.
It. Did I get it right?
Yeah.
Good. Someone else give me one.
I got it wrong.
You give me one. Oh, that was tough. Did I do it?
Yes.
Now, of course, when children do it, they're going to go like this too. So, prepare yourself. Okay. But you can get them back afterwards. Okay, my turn, your turn. So, those kinds of games are really recommended because, again, it's a way of drilling this in a fun way, so it's not bland. Because if it's boring, they are not going to want to do it. And when they don't want to do it, then it turns them off. And I never have a problem. If I say it's words in color time, they all jump up. Unless they're really busy with something. But I never have anybody go, do we have to? I wanted to show you something else, which is not something you need to do at home, but it's because it's a reminder about a mistake that sometimes parents make when they're helping their child to sound things out at home. So I want to just show you this as an example. What do I want to use? Let's say I'm going to use T. So words in color starts with lowercase. I don't start working with them with uppercase until we get to the point where we're writing sentences and names. I don't do it when they're 5 to 6 years old. I don't start it really until first grade, and even then I'm very light on it. But by second grade they have to do it. When we do dictations, they have to know when to capitalize. But so I'll put a consonant, and I'll put the vowels, and in this case I do them in the correct colors because I want them to see. So I, and ah. Okay. And then what I do is we don't want them to go t. So if I say, what's the name of this letter? They know the name of it is T. What's the sound of the letter? It is not t, it's t. You try, you can't do it with all letters, but you try not to put any sound with it because it's a consonant, that means sounds with, so you try to always put it with a vowel. So what we do right away is we go ta, so that it's never standing by itself. Ta, ti, te, ta. And then we go like this. Tot. And you do it again. Tot. And then I go, what is that? And they go, tot. Tot. And you want them to get that habit of going, It's something that is, it's been discovered with research. If you ever borrow a CD from the school called the DIT-DA technology, that the human brain learns language best through this combination of short and long. So if you go tot, tot, that for whatever reason, that gets in better. And I don't know brain mechanics well enough to explain it. But anyway, so you get the idea. So we'll go tut, tut. What is that? Tut, King Tut. So, okay, so whether you were going to do that, you can do it, certainly, although I would say we have not done this, what I'm about to do now, but we certainly could. You could do, it would have to be orange though. You could put a C on this side, and you could put a T on this side. I think they do it on that side. That's what they do. They do it both on the same side, and they'll go cat, cat. What is that? Cat. So it's not that this is so interesting or exciting. I don't do that very often, but it's to give them the idea so that once they get to these words, what I try